Feist. Ah! There was just so much going on in that one tiny little section. Kia ora and welcome. My name is Abishtibi and I'm your vocal coach for today because we're going to be taking a look at Feist with Secret Heart. I'm really excited because, well, I've never heard Feist sing before. I've got absolutely no idea what I'm supposed to be listening to or anything. And I love that. That makes me so excited. So let's discover Feist together. Oh, before I get to Feist, if you are wanting to learn how to sing and you would like the steps in order to get better, because I'm all about creating steps, then check out the link in the description below, because my online singing school, the Vocal Academy, we have opened up the community for all members completely free. There's some freebies in there as well for you. I can't wait that we can talk about singing technique. I'll see you in there.
From Canada, and with all the places that we've gone, we come bearing a melody by a guy named Ron Sexsmith.
I love that. I'm also a big fan of singing pretty much every time I meet anybody. And if you're in singing lessons with me, my students always know. And one thing my students know from workshops and things within the Vocal Academy, they're I sing to them, say, hello, how are you doing? And I'm always expecting people to respond in song because I absolutely love doing this. I go, I'm going into a different song, but she's using a thicker vocal fold with a little bit of air coming through as if she's speaking Sacred Heart.
Secret heart, what are you made of? What are you so afraid of? Could it be three simple words? All the fear of being overheard. What's wrong?
Okay, so then we're going to go, so Sacred Heart. Oh, I keep on wanting to say Sacred Heart. It's Secret Heart, Zoe. So we got Sacred Heart. So we got really, really low volume. She's pulled back on the air there. We've got the vocal folds open. Sacred Heart. We've got a little bit of the sweetness going on, which is signaling the thyroid too. Let's go back on that so you can hear it.
What are you so afraid of?
Yeah, what are you so afraid of? We've got a little bit of the natural vibrato coming in there. There is a big difference in the different types of vibrato that we can use. We've got the pharyngeal vibrato, we've got the natural vibrato, but also got a bit of a wobble, loads of different styles. It's for different types of music, but it's also created in different ways. So if you're wanting to learn more about vibrato, join in my academy, because in the community I will be announcing when I'm bringing out workshops about vibrato, because it's a whole topic in itself. It can't be just looked at this one video, but we're looking for that thyroid tilt. It's going to help us to bring on the vibrato.
What are you made of? What are you so afraid of? Could it be three simple words? All the fear of being overheard. What's wrong? Let me in on your secret heart. Secret heart.
So she went into, oh, what are you made of? of, we've still got quite a lot of this thyroid till there, but as she's getting louder, she's thickening up the vocal folds. Let's just go back on that. So again, it's really hard when you're listening to songs for the very first time to like do all of these analyses things. So if I do miss out stuff, I totally, please forgive me.
Made of. What are you so afraid of?
That's hard. What are you so afraid of? Lots and lots and lots of thyroid till in there. So I got thin vocal folds, allowing them to just open to allow that air to come through.
Be 3 simple words. All the fear of being overheard. What's wrong?
So on the fear of being overheard was wrong. That is the back wag. No muscle moves on its own. Okay, so we're looking at probably the root of the tongue, but also a little bit of tightening at the back of the heard. It's wrong. That beefens up. Well, basically, it makes the space behind, like in the back of our throat, smaller, and that's what creates more of that tension going on. We can make some amazing different sounds with our throats. It's so cool. So that would be tongue and pharyngeal constriction.
Fear of being overheard. What's wrong? Let me in on your secret heart. Secret heart. Come out of church. Why so sacred? Why so serious?
Okay, so we're pretty much repeating in the second verse there, but we've got secret high, and it's actually like a little bit of that sob going on. So we've got thin vocal folds, slightly lowered larynx position, and that's secret high. What are you do? I'm overdoing it, obviously, but let's just go back on that. I like that she's using a lot of these stops and things with it. Not making fun of Feist in any ways, like situation, like in no way, shape, or form. But we've got this. It's created by just basically stopping the movement of the vocal folds for that sound.
Why so sacred?
Yeah, she's closing, like stopping the actual movement of the vocal folds.
So serious.
And it's the same thing. Why are so serious? We need to really focus on pretending to make these sounds, because we humans actually learn singing much like birds learn to sing. We hear it. We need to try and mimic the sounds, and that's how we're going to get better at it. So I like to see my vocal analyses as helping you as a way to facilitate you trying out these sounds, because I really do believe that like this is the way we learn to sing as well, from like the greats that have also like paved the way for us. We're learning from their sounds and then creating our own taste and our own sounds.
Why so serious? Just acting tough. Baby, don't just not really love. What's wrong?
And she did, oh no, what's wrong? A little bit of that pharyngeal constriction going on there as well. I love it to use it as technique for coloring. In the studio, we want to like say to someone, okay, can you do it with and without the pharyngeal constriction? Because sometimes, say if you were like not having a very good vocal day, or you're feeling a little bit of tension, or say for example, like today, got a bit of a sore throat, swollen tonsil, you're not going to be able to do quite as much of that tension creating activities or adding in quite a lot of as many effects into the sound.
Does not really love. What's wrong? Let me in on your secret heart. The very secret that you're trying to conceal. is the very same one that you died to feel. Go tell them how you feel.
I really, really enjoy this song, but I don't know the melody very well for that bridge sort of section there. But again, we've got the on thin vocal folds. There's actually very little airflow going in. And once you remember, when we're in the head voice, that we're keeping the airflow in general quite low, okay? We are actually holding back the breath more than we are allowing it out, because the vocal folds, although they are moved with the breath, we don't, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky when it comes to singing, they are moved by the breath, but we do not change the pitch or the volume with the breath. The breath pressure underneath the vocal folds will change, but the actual vocal folds themselves are doing a lot of that work. It's not as much to do with our breath as we think. We hear the diaphragm word being thrown around everywhere, and I want you to say, ignore your diaphragm, don't think about it. I want you to think about holding on to the breath in your lungs. That's actually something we discussed in the Vocal Academy, my online singing school. We discussed it on Monday in our workshop, all about the head voice. So if you were to sign up today for singing lessons, you would also get access to that masterclass and our practice sessions, which are happening every single week, where we give you feedback on your own vocal technique. In a masterclass like this, it's with me. I run 8 masterclasses every single week, as well as group coaching sessions. So you can check out the link in the description below. If you would like to sign up immediately, we offer one-to-one singing lessons as well. And you have to have one, you've got to get individual feedback in order to get better at singing. It's the only way.
Secret heart, come out and share it. This loneliness, if you can bear it, maybe it's got something to do with admitting that you just can't go through it alone.
There was just so much going on in that one tiny little section. And the only way that I could say to tell you to work on that part would be that it's about cross training. It's really about singing lots and lots and lots of different styles of music, seeing what you like, and then practicing through the performance of adding in all these lovely little sounds. I have some singing students who are like, Zoe, that's way too much. I don't want to do all of that. And then I have others who just love to add in all of these little kind of emotional sounds into their song. And both of them are 100% correct, because really when it comes down to it, it's about developing your taste. And when you've got your taste, that's how you can become a better musician, because you have to be able to say to someone no, I don't like that. So we've got secret high. You can see there as well, there's an increase in the muscular effort going on because she's taken out the volume, taken out the air. Lots of thyroid tilt still though.
Maybe it's God.
I mean, that's basically spot. Maybe it's God. We're using very, very, very little movement of the vocal folds. It's almost slack.
Something to do with admitting that you just can't go through it alone. Tell me I'm your secret heart.
And the offsets, don't forget the secret heart going into that slack offset as well. Wanting to make sure it plays a huge role in the emotional, the way that the emotions are conveyed in the music, when we also think about the way we start the sound and the way we end the sound.
The very secret that you try
just going to interrupt that. Yeah. So, she didn't do that one. That's like my normal run. It's like me being boring, doing the same thing over and over again. So we've got then a head voice sound there. Again, there's no there doesn't sound like there's a lot of breath, but she's kind of going the whole time in and out of the breath. And that's what's signaling to us, or to me, that there is no falsetto in the sound. Because if we were in falsetto, we would hear a definite plane change and almost like a little click coming in. So that's how we can really tell the difference between falsetto and head voice with a bit of breath. And I really think she's in head voice with a bit of breath, because we're going, she's going through those thin vocal folds into the thicker vocal folds. And honestly, if that's something that you really struggle with, I love crescendos and decrescendos. That's what they are. When you go from quiet to loud and then loud to quiet. Really awesome training exercises. I actually have a few of those types of training exercises where I sing along with you in the Vocal Academy. So check out the link in the description below, because you can download those for free to use at home, because I really do believe that in a lot of situations about hearing the sound, and this way we can go through all of those, like the vocal fold thickness, going from thin to thick, and we should be able to get there quite seamlessly at most parts of the range, but that does take a lot of muscle coordination, so you can get that down below. Oh, wow, I've never seen Feist perform, and I think that's so beautiful. I love the way that we've got this like sort of this rock sound, and then she's singing in like almost a it's actually quite a non-rocky way, and like that's always music to my ears, hearing juxtapositions of genres. So let's just go secret. So that's really about training your ears, because she wouldn't have just like plucked that out of thin air. And if she did, that comes through years and years and years of not only being a guitarist, but also a singer, and practicing with these scales, because we need to learn the scales in order to increase we call them oral skills, the listening skills. Oral is with the mouth, so that would be singing, and the oral skills, AURAL, would be our listening skills. That's just as important when it comes to singing. And that's why I know this is like, Zoe, don't sell to me, that's not what I'm trying to do, but this is exactly why I developed the singing school that I did, because there are so many aspects to do with singing that are so important, and it's often stuff that you can't just get through in like one singing lesson, right? Like I'm actually about, that's why I keep on checking my watch a little bit and like looking, because I'm checking for the time. She's arriving in 5 minutes. I've got to go. But it's something that's really challenging if you're, say, preparing for a performance, if you're preparing, if you're completely new to singing, you've got to have this like blueprint of what you're actually going to be looking at, because we need to be working on your ear training. We need to be working on your scales. We need to be working on your vocal technique. We need to be like all these different parts of singing. And that's not just if you're wanting to be a professional. It's really about that for all types of singing, even if it's just your hobby, because that way you're going to feel more comfortable when you're on stage, when you know where you are on the music, you know what you're doing, you know what you're singing. You can sing a little riff like that and you know where it's come out of. You don't need to know the exact notes. I'm not saying you have to learn how to read music, although that is quite it's quite helpful, but it is really about kind of like all the aspects to do with singing. And that's something that often gets left out in singing lessons, is actually training like a musician. We are musicians, and I think singers often get a bad rap for not having all of those other aspects of their teaching, like of the musical knowledge in their singing lessons. And really that's a teacher's problem and not a singing student's problem. So that is why I have shitloads of stuff for my singing students in the academy. Not that they do all of it, okay? It's also, an adult's free will, whether they do it or not, but it is there for someone who like really wants to like take the information and say, I want to become the best singer that I can be. It's all there for you. So anyway, Feist. Thus endeth my TED Talk. I've got to go and grab myself a cup of tea and go for a wee before I start teaching. If you've enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got massive goals for this channel. I'm a singing teacher full-time Monday to Friday. I would love to hang out here more with you and talk shit about singing technique because it's my absolute favorite. So help me out and hit that subscribe button. We haven't looked at Feist before, but I'm going to have a little look at what we've already had a look at on the channel. I'm going to put it up here for you, what's similar in terms of style and vocal quality so that you can keep working on your vocal technique. Any questions or anything like that, hit me up in the comments. I'm always reading them. I love to hear from you. Have an awesome rest of the day. Happy singing. Ka kite anō. You're amazing. You know what? This is just muscles. We can all learn to sing.